Welcome to Cairo in Egypt, hosting the 2017 UIPM Modern Pentathlon Senior World Championships. Held for the first time on African soil, 21 medals on offer to 169 athletes from 29 nations. And just to explain for those new to modern pentathlon, it's a multi-skilled challenge which sees athletes put to the test over 5 disciplines in one day. A 200-metre swim, the round-robin épée fencing, the riding, and finally the combined laser pistol shooting, a 3,200-metre run event. It's a unique and exciting, tough test of all-round Olympic sporting abilities. The men and women compete separately, then join forces for a mixed relay to close the 3 days of competition. So with the scene set, we go straight to the men's competition, and among the athletes here we find some of the big hitters. Valentin Bello of France, the 24-year-old, ranked 5th but still shows best so far this year. No sign of him on the podium, but he won the French Championships in June, so there's plenty of potential. The stats showing he's that rare beast, the consummate all-rounder. Alexander Lizun from Russia, the reigning Olympic champion, ranked 6th going into the event. On the podium in LA, he won the European Seniors in Belarus, but still to show his peak form. The evidence shows he's strongest in the fencing. Pavlo Timoshenko, Olympic silver medalist, the Ukrainian currently ranked world number 1 and never outside the top 4 throughout the World Cup season. Weakest perhaps in the pool and on horseback, but he's strong in the fencing and laser run. Fresh new faces in evidence though, among them Korea's Won Tae-jun, freshly up from the juniors and already making his mark in the seniors, having won the World Cup stop in Poland.
저번 시즌에 더 훨씬
I have been really happy with this season, even though I didn't do much training over the winter after the Olympic Games last year. But my results have been good, so I'm happy with the training decisions I made. This is the last big international competition of the season, so I'm aiming to get in the top 3. Next season is the Asian Games, which are very important, and 2020 is the Olympic Games in Tokyo, so this is what I'm building to with my training. In Korea, the history of pentathlon is very short, but we have many good male and female pentathletes, so we will be pushing hard next season in the Asian Games and then towards the Olympics for medals. The Korean pentathletes are like one big family. We train well together and we all want to see each other be successful.
And so here at the Pegasus Club facility close to the pyramids of Giza, it's time to get down to business as the action in the men's final moves first to the pool. Some great performances so far. Valentin Bello there among those progressing through to Heat 2, which is where we join the action with our commentator Tim Capel.
Well, coming into this heat, the fastest man in qualifying was Fabian Lieberg of Germany. He's out there in lane 4, but he would fail to reproduce that form here today when it mattered most. But France's Fabien Bello did. The gold medal winner from Moscow back in 2016, saving his best until it really did matter the most here. He'd be pressed hard there by Chicano in lane 2 of Belarus, also going well. Keep an eye out as well in lane 5 for Justinas Kinderis of Lithuania, the 3-time world gold medalist, going strongly as well. Into the final 25 metres here, it is Bello then in lane 3, who just begins to extend his lead here. Bello from Chicano in lane 2. Kinderas trying to close the gap down, but it's going to be between Bello in lane 3. He's going to hang on to take this here just. Bello in lane 3 of France, then from Chicano of Belarus in 2nd place. Kinderas is going to take 3rd place. Winning time then for Valentin Bello, 2:07.27. Well, here's Won Tae-jun then of Korea, one to keep an eye on because he's had an excellent year in the pool so far. And Muntayum will go in lane 3. One of the favourites here, Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland, going in lane 4. Keep an eye out for the other Korean in the field, Yimwa Jung in lane 5. A good start by Joseph or Joe Chung of Great Britain there. In lane 2 is going well at this moment. Jung Yimwa in lane 5 also going well. Fastest in the qualifying was Langan O'Keefe of Ireland, coming in 2:01.48. But as we said, those two Koreans, Yimwa Jung in lane 5, it was only marginally slower than O'Keefe, and Won Tae-yoon in lane 3, still going strongly as well. O'Keefe then, the 25-year-old from Ireland, going well, renewing that rivalry that he had with Chung. Remember, he beat him by 2 places to finish 8th in the Rio Olympics a year ago. But he's just got the edge at the moment there. Chung, who was the first British athlete, you might remember a few years ago now, who won a European under-16 title. His career still going very much on an upward curve. But at the turn, it's those 4 who are still very much in it here. Joe Chung in lane 2, Yinhwa Jung in lane 5, Won Tae-yoon in lane 3, and Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland there in lane 4. The field now just beginning to split a little. So as we come to the turn then, there's about a half a second in the final 50 metres to go here between them. And Joe Chung of Great Britain had a great turn there. Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland is pressing him hard. The Korean Yimwa Jung isn't out of it yet either. But it's Joe Chung of Great Britain who's had a fantastic race here, certainly in the last 100 metres. And he is extending his stroke here. He is going to come and win this unless there's a great comeback from O'Keefe in the final 10 or 15 metres. But it is going to be Joe Chung of Great Britain. Look at the time, 2:00.87. O'Keefe in second place and Jung in third.
That was tough, definitely very tough, but I'm very pleased with that because I've dropped a couple of seconds since the semi-final. I just changed it up a little bit. I think in the final I went out a bit too hard. I felt too good having rested like the 3 days before, so I died in the second 100, but here I paced it much more evenly and dropped 2 seconds, which is great. I had an idea that I think I was behind with 50 to go, but I was up there, and I knew I felt a lot better coming into the last 50 than I had done before, so I was quite confident that I had it.
So Joseph Chung upsetting the apple cart slightly by pushing the 2 Koreans down into 3rd and 4th, and a strong showing from Ireland's Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe, giving him the points for 2nd. Moving on apace, the men next go into the fencing, each of them facing one another, 35 bouts each in the opening stage, a round robin. Alexander Lisun of Russia doing as well as expected. Also Jinhwa Jun of Korea and Robert Kaza of Hungary emerging as the strongest contenders from the round robin. Moving on now to the deciding bonus round, where we join commentator Tim Cable.
Kinderis then of Lithuania up against Timoshenko, then the world's #1, and it was just too much of an ask in the end for Kinderis, the Lithuanian here. A great counter from Timoshenko wins the bout. Ahmad of Egypt against Timoshenko, then fencing, a favourite event of the Russian police officer here, but it wasn't going to be by the end of this bout because Ahmad, the 24-year-old from Egypt, keeps the interest going for the home crowd because he would take a significant scalp. So Hamad, the world's #10, up against Joseph Chung of Great Britain, who finished in 10th place in the Olympic Games in Rio last year. He's had a decent enough start as Chung, but it isn't going to be good enough because Hamad takes the bout. So next into the fray then, it is Kaza, the world ranked #5. Hamad has already ousted Timoshenko, the world's #1. Can he do the same again here? Tentative start though here from Hamad. Kaza on the defensive, takes the right of way, trying to attack Hamad, fends him off again, parries well. And it is, with that riposte, it is Kaza who's going to win here. Yun then of South Korea, who was again exceptional in the round robin event up against Kaza, who we've seen just put out Islam Hamad. So these two neck and neck in the early stages of the competition. So Yun then looking to continue this fine start to these World Championships that he had, but immediately Kaza has decided to go on the attack. He's taken the right away here. And it goes in on the attack, but again, the parry and riposte from Yun has won the bout here. Fine performance from the South Korean. So Yun of South Korea wins the fencing event ahead of Kaza, and this is how they stand then after 2 events.
The men's final at the 2017 UIPM Modern Pentathlon Senior World Championships are very much underway as they move on now to the second discipline, the riding.
Mohammed of Egypt started the day in 4th place, and again he's proving to be consistent, but he needs just to up his game a bit if he's to push into the podium positions. He would conclude with a decent enough score here, 1 minute and 9 seconds his total time to complete the course, obstacle penalties of 21 points. And that time gave him a time penalty of 1, which meant he would have an overall score of 278. Chunga, Great Britain started in 3rd place, but this would prove to be a very costly event indeed. Lamarth University matters. He fell at one stage of the course and ended with a time of 1 minute 31, 20 obstacle penalties and 23 time penalties. 257 points overall, which would drop him down significantly in the top 10. Kaza started the event in 2nd place overall, and he would go on to deliver the best performance of the day here. 1 minute and 4 would be the time he took to complete the course. Obstacle penalties of 7, no time penalties, which gave him an overall total of 293 points. Competition leader Yun then. Under pressure, Kaza with that almost perfect round. The competition leader then put in a good performance, but he didn't quite match Kaza's level here today. Finished in a time of 1 minute and 10 seconds, 7 obstacle penalties and 2 time penalties gave him a final score of 291. And so these then the combined results, and heading into that final event, Yun with a 9-point lead over the Hungarian Robert Kaza. The battle though for bronze medal looks to be as intense as well, with 3 athletes very much in the mix. And that translates into this. This is the time handicap then ahead of the final event. Well, this final event, the most grueling of them all, in conditions which will be a severe test of every athlete's stamina and endurance. Literally then all to play for. 4 800-meter laps interspersed with the laser shooting. And Yun then of Korea is the first to get away here. And he's got 9 seconds before the rest of the competition get over there. Remember, he stays until all of those lights stay green. Robert Kaza of Hungary, the Hungarian nation who have got such an incredible level of achievement throughout the history of modern pentathlon. He's looking to get up there and challenge. He's got a lot of work, though, to do. Also in the middle of that picture, you can see O'Keefe of Ireland, another Hungarian in there, Marozai, who was a former gold medalist in this event a few years ago. But it is Yun who's still out there in front. There's Islam Hamad of Egypt, lending a home support for him. This is the man that they're trying to catch, looking to create a little bit of history as well here. The bronze medalist for the first time back in Rome in 2012. His performances over the years have been increasing certainly in their levels of consistency. He's always there or thereabouts. Robert Kazar of Hungary trying his best to close that gap down, but it still looks as if it's being well contained by the South Korean. Remember, as we said earlier, it is the battle for bronze medal, which is increasing in its intensity here as well. Eslam Hamad of Egypt, but Justinas Kinderis of Lithuania as well is certainly in the mix there. Kinderis was down in 5th place. He had a 45-second gap between he and Yim-Hwa Jung. Here is Yim-Hwa Jung then, who's still very much clear and in control out there in 1st place. Eslam Hamad being pressed by Kinderis, who's been on the scene in these events for many, many years there. 24 is Ono of Japan. But if he does continue to maintain this pace and this amount of control, he will come home and make a bit of history here. But we're focusing again on Kinderas, who looks to have got into 3rd place there. Here then is Yim-Hwa Jung. And as we said, bronze in Rome in 2012. He was bronze in 2016 as well. And never gone higher than a bronze medal in an individual event. Kinderas still carrying the battle and just winning that battle as well. At the moment, he's ahead of Eslam Hamad. Well, it's the penultimate shoot, and this battle for bronze medal is as intense as it has been right from the word go. Eslam just got away quicker then from Justinas Kinderis. But he's taken that lead back again, so Kinderis moves into bronze medal position just ahead of Eslam Hamad of Egypt. Here, though, is the leader. Yim-Hwa Jung of South Korea has got it in the bag, barring a real disaster here. Robert Kazar of Hungary in silver medal position. Well, he's going backwards now, is Eslam Hamad, dropping down into 5th place there. And Yim-Hwa Jung is away. Quick look over his shoulder just to make sure that the gap isn't closing. But in reality, Kazar has never looked as if he's going to be able to close that gap that they had at the start. But here again, just when you think it's all over and Kinderas has got it in the bag, you see that Hamad makes a move, but again he's taken time and he's lost valuable time on the shooting. And Kinderas has got a big lead. That's about 8-9 seconds, and again you can just see him beginning to extend his stride. But this is the man who's going to come home with the biggest smile on his face. Yim-Hwa Jung of South Korea. Kinderas is in bronze medal position here. Kazar of Hungary is going to be taking the silver medal, but here he comes. Yim-Hwa Jung of South Korea. Again, there's a look over his shoulder, but he's going to come home to take an individual gold medal here for the Koreans. And it is going to be history in the making here, because it will be the first time the Koreans have ever taken an individual gold in this event. Fabulous performance from Yim-Hwa Jung of South Korea. He takes the gold medal. Kazar silver and Kinderas with the bronze.
This was such a unique race for me. I was just thinking about my team, my coaches, and fellow Korean pentathletes.
I just focus on myself. I don't care if I'm winning, if I'm 12s. I just want to do my best, you know, and it was 23 years work, too much work and too much emotion. And 3 days ago, my second son just born, Peter, and I'm so happy. I'm unbelievably happy.
I was just focused on my shooting and was trying to find a good tempo in running and not like push too hard, because I know if I push too hard, I will have a lot of problems in my shooting.
So relief and absolute joy in evidence as the men's final winners step up to the podium. Kinderas of Lithuania calm and collected in third. Kaza of Hungary not holding back as he takes the silver. And finally, Yinhwa Jung of Korea equally overjoyed to lift the gold. Not much in it between the top three, just 7 points between gold and silver, but no one denying the Korean as the very much deserved winner. Moving on then to our next final here in Cairo, Egypt. It's the turn of the women, the world's best performing modern pentathletes of the 2017 season. Sarolta Kovacs from Hungary, the defending world champion. Ranked 7th, she's been steadily improving through the year after a slow start and will be looking to end 2017 on a high. Not so impressive on horseback, a solid performer in the fencing and laser run, but it's in the pool where she's at her very best. Laura Asadeskauti, currently ranked number 1 and for very good reason. A fantastic 2017 for the Lithuanian, a first and 2 seconds in the World Cup so far. 2012 Olympic gold medalist. She tends to get stronger as she works her way through the disciplines. Her past form showing some sensational finishes in the laser run. Gulnaz Gubadalina, what can you say about the Russian? A great 2017 for the 25-year-old, 3rd overall in this year's World Cup final and 1st in the Europeans. Pretty much unbeatable in the pool on the strength of this year's results. She's no slouch in any of the disciplines, come to that, so very much one to watch here in Cairo. Kate French of Great Britain, currently ranked 6th, took the win here in Cairo back at the World Cup event in March. So we asked, how was she finding Egypt in August?
Hot, very hot and humid, but we're quite fortunate that we're doing the combined late, so it's a bit cooler. It's gone well so far. We were in Font-Romeu for an altitude training camp for 2 weeks. So yeah, everyone really enjoyed it and trained well out there. We're also in Paris for a fencing camp as well, so yeah, good preparations. It's nice to have a nice team supporting you and you can support them as well and push you along, so yeah. I like to say fencing's a strength, but everyone can have a bad day, and shooting, but again, the nerves can get to you, so we'll see. I've had a really good year, so I just want to continue that and do the best I can.
So back to our coverage of the finals, the pool offering a little cool relief here in Cairo. But as we move on to Heat 5, things are heating up considerably for the women. Commentator Tim Capel guides us through the action.
Well, here's Gubadalina, who has had a quite exceptional year. She's unbeaten in the pool this year. And here is the lady that could push her closest in this race, Sarolta Kovacs of Hungary. Well, away they go then. And the lanes to keep an eye out for. Gubadalina is in lane 4 there. And inside of her in lane 3 is Kovacs of Hungary. Clavel of France also in lane 6 has had a good start there as well, as indeed as Foldazi of Hungary. As they come down at the end of the first 50 metres here, it's going to be quite tight then at the turn. Not an awful lot in it between Kovacs there, Foldazi, Clavel and Gubadalina of Russia. A former 4-time youth and European champion, Gubadalina looking to be only the 2nd Russian to ever win the individual event at a World Championships. 2017's already delivered at the European title from Minsk. And I don't think too many people will forget, those of you watching the Olympic Games last year, when she set that time of 2:07.94, which was a new record in the 200 metres. Didn't do an awful lot for her in the end, though, because she took the medal. And at the turn then, Gubadalina still in there, Kovacs 2, Clavel of France, and in lane 6, Foldazi going well in lane 2 as well. But in the centre of your picture there, Kovacs of Hungary, who's picked up no fewer than 11 career medals so far, including 4 gold, one of which, remember, was the individual back in 2016. It is she in lane 3 with Gubadalina of Russia just outside of her, who are beginning just to pull away from the rest of the field here. Final 50 metres then, and it is between Kovacs in lane 3, Gubadalina in lane 4. There is absolutely nothing between these two. Clavel has begun to drift. Foldazi is coming through into 3rd place, but it's between Kovacs and Gubadalina, and it's going to be Kovacs who's just going to take it here. Kovacs has got literally half a stroke lead. Kovacs of Hungary ahead of Gubidelina. Could be the first time she loses in the pool this year, and it is going to be Kovacs who's going to win it. 2:08.56 ahead of Gubidelina of Russia in 2:08.90. Foldazi of Hungary in third, and Clavel of France in fourth.
I'm so happy now. It was a good feeling for me. The first 100 meter was like it's okay, and the last 100 meter I feel so strong, and it was so good for me. I thought that the Russian girl is better, but now I'm win, so I'm happy because it was, I think, 3 or 4 years ago that that was the last time I won the swing.
So the results from the pool: Sarolta Kovacs taking the win, but Gubidelina sharing equal points in second. Sofia Foldazi of Hungary in third. Now we move to the indoor arena for the fencing round robin. Uncomfortably hot for all concerned, but some remaining cooler than others, with some surprises emerging from individual bouts in the early stages of the fencing. And it was Lena Schöneborn of Germany, Natalia Cole of Ireland, and Sunwoo Kim of Korea who emerged top of the round robin. As now we head outside for the bonus rounds with your commentator Tim Capel.
So on to the fencing then, and first up we're going to see Anna Buriak, who's had a very good year against Sunwoo Kim of South Korea. Buriak was part of the team relay event team who was second in the European Championships in Minsk this year. Sunwoo Kim is just 19 years of age, but youth would prevail here. Sunwoo Kim would get the win. Next up then, it's Natalia Coyle of Ireland, the 26-year-old from Dublin, who competed at both London 2012 and indeed Rio last year. Won a gold as well this year with Arta Lanigan O'Keefe in that mixed relay event in Poland this year. So she's really enjoying a good, consistent year. Sunwoo Kim is the very first World Championships, but she was adapting herself well, but not well enough, as Natalia Coyle wins. Well, 2017 has been a very good year for Coyle, as we said. Remember, she had a finish in Rio upgraded to 6th in June. But against Schönborn, who's won 17 career medals, including 6 World Championship golds across the events. She's a former Olympic champion as well from Beijing. She's got all of the experience, but she's just moving into veteran territory now. Coyle on the attack early on here, trying to take the game to Schönborn, putting her under pressure, giving her questions to answer here. And she's been on the defensive right from the start. Just under 5 seconds, as you can see on the clock there. So Coyle again takes the right away and again launches that attack, and it's good enough. And it's victory then for Coyle here of Ireland. Coyle's reflexes just too quick there for Schönborn. And that will translate into a table that looks like this. Gap beginning to open up at the top as well. 14 points. Schönborn leads Natalia Cole of Ireland, with Sunwoo Kim in third. And on to the most difficult discipline of them all, as horse and athlete combine in the riding event. So Gubidelina of Russia, who lost her unbeaten record in the pool earlier on, was back in imperious form here, and she would produce near perfection. 1:09 her time, 1 point deduction in the end, which would give her 299 points out of 300, and the benchmark had been set very, very high indeed. Foldazi of Hungary, the 24-year-old who competed in Rio last year, and looked very impressive with that third-place finish in the pool earlier. Again, producing an impressive set of results here. 1 minute and 5 her time, and that combined to give her 293 points. For Sun Woo Kim, this event was one to forget and simply chalk up to experience. The 19-year-old, who had dreams of a medal, ended up being eliminated from the riding competition, and this would literally mean to no points being added to her total, which effectively ended her ambitions of anything close to a podium finish. Well, Coyle's ambitions, though, are very much alive and well. Although acceptable in terms of performance, she would fall just short of what she would need to take first place here. 1 minute and 16 would translate into 275 points for Coyle. Well, the big surprise of the day was the performance of Lena Schönborn of Germany. The competition leader would give up most of the lead that she'd worked so hard to get in the opening events. 1 minute and 10 her time, but with penalties added and taking into account, she would accrue just 263 points. Let's then take a look at the table with one event to go and see how this competition has been reignited. Schönborn's lead at the top down to just 2 points, and this then is the handicap ahead of the last event, the laser run. So then the final event, Lena Schönborn has got it all to lose here. Foldazi just a couple of seconds behind her. There you can see Coyle as well in third place. Gubedulina of Russia is going to be the key threat here. She moves in there in fourth place at the moment, keeping a very, very steady hand there. Gubedulina now looking to see those green lights light up 5 in a row, and it is Gubedulina who is away first here, and Schönborn is already dropped down the rankings. So Schönborn loses first place. Coyle is behind there too. So we've got an immediate change in the leaders here. As you can see, Gubedulina, the 25-year-old Russian, has taken the lead. She started with only 3 seconds to make up, and she made it up very quickly, and Foldazi is there alongside her as well. So the Hungarian, who started her ascent with that performance in the swimming earlier on, did exceptionally well there. Well, we just saw Kovacs go through there, who's won, 11 career medals, including 4 golds, but it doesn't look as if she's going to be getting close this time around. So here comes Gubedulina again, first to pick up the gun, and again she's turning those red lights green very, very swiftly indeed. Very, very steady arm, quickly changes, and she's off again. Coyle of Ireland coming through in fourth place, but this is fantastic from Gubedulina of Russia. Fugazi is beginning to drift behind her. So back to the front of the competition is Bien of China, still some way behind, but keep an eye out here on Anastasia Prokopenko of Belarus, who's beginning to move through the field, started in 14th place and already made up significant ground, but nowhere near getting close to Gubedulina, who just seems to be extending her lead here. From Foldazi there, and Schönborn, who's just hanging in there. But just look at how impressively Gubedulina is turning those red lights green. It is literally 5 in 5, and again she's off and running. Schönborn under real pressure there from Foldazi of Hungary, the 24-year-old Hungarian who competed in Rio. She's never medalled at a major championships before. Schönborn, again, you can see just how much ground she's lost there. Well, there's Tamara Alexeyev, who had a great competition in the World Cup in Lithuania, which she won very recently, but she isn't going to win here, that is for sure, because Gubedelina is still very much in control of this event here. There's Schönborn beginning to drop way, way down there. She's going to have a struggle there to hang on the bronze medal position there if she's not careful. Gubedelina then has the race there to lose, and just look at the ground that she has in between her and Zofia Foldazi of Hungary. Now, we told you to keep an eye on Prokopenko, and this is the reason why. She really is eating up this ground. These, though, are the leading two. Schönborn literally dragging herself in to pick up that gun. Away goes Gubedelina again. The shooting has been absolutely exemplary here. There goes Foldazi. And going through your picture there is Prokopenko. She's moved from 14th place into bronze medal position. There she goes, the 31-year-old from Belarus. Won the Euros in Minsk very recently, narrowly missed out on Olympic glory twice, and she's making up for it late on in her career. But this is the leader, Gubedelina of Russia. She's had this right in the palm of her hand, this race, but who would have believed it that Prokopenko is trying to close down here on Foldazi of Hungary. But the night is going to belong to Gubedelina of Russia, who will become only the second Russian to win the individual event at the World Championships. Foldazi will take the silver medal, and Prokopenko from 14th up to bronze medal position.
Oh my god! My swimming is very good, I think, but my fencing is not good today. But I'm very happy, really.
For me, it's a really bad shooting race was, but I think not enough. But I'm happy. That's all. It's enough for the second place. And I'm really happy, and thank you everybody to support me at home. Now I'm again Zofia Foldazi in a podium.
Yes, I'm after Champions Europe.
She won European Championship yes. Like 3 weeks ago, yes. And she was a little bit tired, but I think that now she returned back for good mood.
And so Gubedelina takes the win here in Egypt. Gold to the Russian after a truly thrilling event. Zofia Foldazi of Hungary second, and Anastasia Prokopenko of Belarus in third after an amazing performance in the laser run. Time now for the mixed relay format. The teams competing for their countries, a male and female athlete in each team, but apart from the fencing, they compete in tandem, the women handing over to the men in a relay format. The disciplines just the same as the individual finals: swim, fence, ride, and finally laser run. And just like the individuals, the mixed relay kicking off with the swimming, where we caught up with the Irish duo of Natalia Coyle and Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe, reflecting on their win in Poland at the World Cup and what's been a truly spectacular year.
I started with the last World Cup individually, and that went well, and then obviously we won the relay together there, and then won World Cup final relay as well. It's fantastic. So just been looking to build towards World Champs, so that's great. We both made the final here, so it's great.
3 competitions is very hard in the body. 1 is hard enough. So this year I've built very gradually. I've started with the relays, and now I'm able to just about do the 3 competitions. So I think even after we do our individuals tomorrow, we're going to be okay for the relay, hopefully.
I think naturally Arthur and I are quite good at sprint distances. We're quite powerful athletes, so it's kind of just lends towards our strengths a little, and I really enjoy doing the relay as well because it's nice to do a team event instead of just an individual all the time.
Time now for the deciding heat for the mixed relay teams at the pool as we join event commentator Tim Capel.
Well, we had an extraordinarily close finish in the mixed relay. At the turn, as you can see there, with 50 metres to go, it was Ireland with Arthur Lanigan-O'Keefe and Czech Republic's Jan Kuf who would fight it out until the finish. We've been used to seeing closely fought races over the years, but none as close as this. And as they came through the final few metres up to touch the wall, the race would literally end as a dead heat. Nothing to separate them in the end. Japan would come home in third place and Russia in fourth.
You know, in swimming it's quite fine, this weather, it's not so tough, but I think during the bonus round it won't be so fine on the sun. So I hope we will focus for it, and especially for the riding, and we will see.
Remarkable stuff at the pool. The dead heat between the Czech Republic and Ireland giving us the most spectacular start to the mixed relay finals. Japan's third place, a truly great result for them too, as now the action moves on to the fencing round robin. A lot being expected from the French pair in this, the discipline they both excel at. But no sign of that promise in the early stages, and it is in fact China and Egypt who emerge strongest to push on into the bonus round, along with Germany and Poland, as we head back to commentator Tim Capel.
Well, Poland had knocked out Germany in the previous round. Up next, it was Egypt, Morsi against Novachka, and it will be first blood to Egypt and Morsi. There's Lam Hamad, who we've seen performing very well earlier on, knocking out Timoshenko, who's the world number one in the individual event, and he would secure the points here for Egypt. Next up then for Egypt were China, and Shuai here up against Hamad, looking to continue this surge. He's been peerless almost in the fencing competition, and he continues his good fortune as well with victory here. What China need to win this. It's Bian of China up against Morsi, who beat Novachka in the previous round. But the momentum is all with the Egyptians here, and a victory in this competition is going to significantly enhance their chances of taking a medal in the overall event. Already this performance is going to have them moving up the table, and they've done it. Morsi takes the victory here. And this is going to provide a significant boost. As we said, China take the lead, but Egypt up into second place. Well, the riding competition has made and broken many a dream, and today would be no different. Well, France began this event, sat outside of the top 10, but this performance would be enough to take them inside of it. Julie Belhamri and Valentine Bello, who didn't have the best riding competition in the individual event, pulled it all together here, 284 points. Well, Czech Republic won the swimming, and they did well here as well. This round would produce them 291 points, and that would be enough to see them go into fourth place and reawaken their dream of a medal. Well, Daniel Larinovic of Poland was there to take up as the others faltered. 272 points for the Polish team here they would pick up, and that put them into bronze medal position. Germany would give us the best performance that we have seen so far. Only Czech Republic had scored over 290 points before Germany's Ronja Steinborn and Alexander Nobis took to their horses. 293 points for Germany, and that put them in second place. The host nation, after a fine display in the fencing, would improve still further in the riding event. They've kept a steely determination about them, and they didn't falter even as the pressure began to mount. Morsi and Hamad were almost faultless. They held their nerve to equal the best performance of the day, which was put in by Germany in accruing 293 points, and that would be enough to take them to the top of the leaderboard. Well, we said that dreams were made and broken in the riding event, and today it was China who saw their dreams shattered. The competition leaders coming into this event were eliminated in the end after Shuai failed to complete the course, which effectively ended any medal hope they had. And so then, this is the leaderboard with one event to go. Egypt take the lead ahead of Germany. And that translates into this, the handicap then for the final event. Steinborn of Germany will start in second place. Egypt, though, have a very, very slender advantage. Just the 1 second for Hamad Morsi ahead of Nobis and Steinborn of Germany, Novachka and Larinovic of Poland in third, Kuf and Dianova of Czech Republic, who remember took a gold in 2015 in Berlin, down there in fourth place. So there is Nobis. Novachka of Poland is well there, moving well. A lot of people have been talking about the running on sand and just how hard some of these athletes have found this terrain. But just look how much time Steinborn has got here ahead of Morsi of Egypt. It's Germany in the lead then from Egypt in second place. And you can just count the seconds in there, but Morsi was knocking those targets out. But it's, what, 8, 9, 10 seconds, which is the gap. And Steinborn is going to come over and hand over to Nobis for the final leg. These are the rest of the athletes that are following on behind, battling it out for the minor medals. And look down there, it's Julie Belhamri of France, who's run a quite fantastic leg. Remember, they started in 8th position. The lead then being held by Germany. Steinborn hands it over to Nobis. Hamad of Egypt takes it on the last leg, and it looks as if he's going to be picking up his first major championship medal. But Germany look as if they're going to be completing what has been an exceptionally successful World Championships here. There is Daniel Larinovic of Poland looking to try and make up the lost ground there as the French had come storming through. There you can see Valentin Beller of France. Didn't really perform brilliantly in the individual event, but he's more than making up for it here in the team event. But it is Germany from Egypt. That lead is still being held. And you can see Nobis of Germany won the relay gold back in 2015 in Berlin. It looks as if he's going to be taking another one here. Wasn't a great set of targets there from Morsi of Egypt. He's lost even more time, but Valentin Beller, who won gold in 2013 with Elodie Clovel, who's at these championships, they aren't going to match that performance, but they are at least, it looks like, going to be ending up with a medal. Morsi of Egypt and Hamad have put in a sterling performance in this competition, but it isn't enough to deny Germany the gold medal. Alex Nobis brings it home for Germany, and that is a third gold medal. Hamad and Morsi embrace on the line for the silver medal for them, but what a performance as well from the French to come home. Their first medal of these championships, and they started in 8th, they ended in bronze medal position.
I was was more to focus on my shooting because it's not always so constant. So I was just to shoot, just focus on myself and then just running fast.
I knew if I run my style, he will catch me, and I was focused on the second shooting because the first shooting didn't get so well. Was not so good, and second shooting was solid. And yeah, but today the track is much better because they worked a lot here. So yeah, tough day, but gold at the end.
Yeah, it was a very close race actually. All the competitors was very strong, and we had our chance and we got the silver medal. I tried to catch him so hard, but it was a very big distance in the last 800, so I couldn't, but I'm very happy with the silver medal.
Yeah, I say I just to run one and try until the end.
Julie arrived in 4th place for me. It's a great job for podium, and after my job is for podium. I play good shooting and very good first running, and after the 3rd place is okay.
Winners of the mixed relay, congratulations to Germany. Lots of smiling faces here as Egypt takes second, much to the delight of the home crowd, and France a fantastic third after that amazing performance in the laser run. Well, that's pretty much it from the 2017 UIPM Modern Pentathlon World Championships, the end of a great season for this most Olympic of sports. Thanks for joining us, and once again, extended coverage is available at uipmtv.org.